Hello and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. Where we last left off, we went and spoke to Merwold in the sub-level of Cade Noah, and he was mad. So we wound up having to kill him. We killed a bunch of spiders, there was a lot of spiders, and we wound up having to kill some looters who had descended into the lower levels to take things. Then we returned. We spoke to the steward, who informed us that this is now our keep. We get to keep it. We need to repair it. We've repaired I can't remember what it was called, a bridge, I think, towards the city that we need to go to that Mayor Walder told us about. The city of Deceit, I think it was called. And we need to see the Queen of Deceit or something like that. Never far from the Queen. Barbica, that's what it's called. That's what the bridge was called. Defiance. So, to the city of Defiance. So we must leave Cade Noah. Okay, now we're outside. Let's see. Where's this Barbica? Bright Hollow. Eastern Barbica. Okay, that's where we need to go. Oh, okay, so we need to go to this part. So it was just
Bit to slick your breeches, scholar
this
lad.
little
That's enough from you.
oh, okay, so it's probably like you can't access this little area by going around the keep through those woods. But let's continue on. No, we don't want to take the bard. We need to go to the city of Defiance, which is this here, Defiance Bay. So this city that we saw before is where we need to go. Okay. I think that's okay, the wood plains. 18 hours to complete our journey.
The longer we walk, the more likely you'll have to sleep.
Okay. We are in the woodland areas. Is there anything over here? Other than something that's going to kill us? Tomb. Memorials. Okay, so it's just a here lies yada yada yada. Okay,
Yes.
let's go back to the road then. We might wind up taking a rest at some point because we might get attacked along the road. In fact, let's zoom out just so we can see more things in case we are ambushed. Oh, there's a person here.
Hush, Itumak. We'll just wait a little longer.
Itumak Sagani? A dwarven woman dressed in skins and hide leans against the road marker. Her face is turned down, her eyes darkened by a thick stripe of face paint. She's sharpening a bone arrowhead with a Grimshaw hand knife. Her attention, however, is focused on a bare figure between her feet. A large white-furred fox standing at her heels looks up at you as you approach.
Easy, Itumak. It's not him.
Who are you? Who are you waiting
Short
for?
version? I'm looking for a very, very old friend. I'm not sure what skin he's wearing now, but I'll know him when I see him.
Your friend's supposed to meet you here?
That's what I heard. Of course, the man who told me so was carrying a staff he claimed was made from dragon bone, but I know whitewood when I see it. That should have been my first clue, but I had to try something.
Back up. What does this stranger have to do with your friend?
The long version. Here we go. I'm from an island to the far south called Nasitak. I came here looking for a village elder, a man we knew as Persok. I'm a hunter back home, so tracking someone wouldn't normally be a problem. But Persok's trail is cold, to say the least.
Why can't you find him? Why can't you find him? There can't be that many people, that many of your people in Deerwood. He died when I was still young, a young girl. Forgot to mention that part, did I? I am looking for his latest reincarnation, which could be anyone. How long have you been looking for him? 5 years. So you've been searching 5 years for a stranger you barely remember who could be anyone now.
That about sums it up.
That must be an
So I
important
keep
duty.
reminding myself. Still, it would be nice if important duties came with clearer instructions.
How does that statue figure into it? She dusts the figurine on her trousers and raises it in her small flat palm. It's carved into the shape of a bear, smooth and round. The polished adhere is worn to a dull mat along its arched back, and ovoid hunches. A soft glow emanates from within.
Cute, isn't it? It belonged to Persok. Before he returned to the wheel, he left a splinter of his soul in it. Something to help us find him later.
As you hold it out to you, you feel wisps of sensation. Not quite memories, but traces of someone.
When I left Nasitak, it was completely dark inside. But as I've gotten closer to Persok, it's glowed steadily brighter. Since I've reached the Deerwood, however, it's gotten hard to read. Some days it flickers and goes dark. Others it shines nice and bright, for a few hours. But most of the time it looks just like this.
I could take a look at it.
I've heard that one before. Whole reason I'm standing here is because some so-called watcher from Forkvale told me he could take a look. For a few golden dukes, of course. I was on my way out of the Balmarsh when I heard talk of a traveling mystic who could supposedly see souls. I knew it was a long shot, but what did I have to lose? I went to see this fellow and gave him the Audra figurine. He made a big show of moaning and rolling his eyes, and after I'd given him 5 golden dukes to lift the shroud, he told me to seek the crossroads in the field between the Wolf's Lair and the twining trees.
Wolf's Lair? Defiance Bay. Locals call the current Duke Wolf Grin. Sounds like he'd be fun to drink with. Is the Twining Trees a real place? He meant Twin Elms. I haven't been there yet, but I hear they have some especially memorable trees.
He thought he was being vague, but I know the area well enough to recognize that he meant this place, right between Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. I had a bad taste in my mouth, but my coin was spent and I'd already left an arrow in his knapsack as a friendly warning. Told him I'd come back and leave him with another if it turned out he was giving me the runaround. I've been here a week now. Guess he had the last laugh after all.
May I see the figurine?
Why?
I'm a real watcher.
You expect me to believe that? After the story I just told you?
Which one do we want to go with? What if I'm telling you the truth and after 5 years it's worth taking the chance?
Fine. But if you try to run, just remember that my arrows are faster.
Catch the figurine. The chapped knuckles grazing your hand. She watches you examine it, wary but curious. You raise the Audra bear, turning it in the light as your eye catches a tiny glinting scratch. The Nah, the scenery around you melts away. You stand on a cliff, overlooking the water, seeing through eyes that aren't your own. You catch the musk of beasts amidst the fresh scent of vegetation, and your heart beats a little faster. You'll have to watch your step up here. You look down just long enough to see the sharp, pale cliffs drop onto the water hundreds of feet below you. I see a vision of cliffs high over water. Does that sound familiar? You're greeted as is you Your question is greeted with shrugs and silence. I've got it. He's standing on a cliff.
What are you talking about? What just happened?
I told you, I'm a watcher. She blinks at you a few times, calculating. I know this sounds strange, but it's the truth.
You realize I've got no coin to give you, even if I did believe you.
Come with me. I've got other business in the area, and we can look for Perswalk on the way. To be fair,
You walk your path, I'll walk mine.
I think 2 ranges is better than durance. Let's read. North, Cade Nua. West to Defiance Bay. Okay, so we want to go west. Let's see what is to the west. Okay, this place seems pretty nice and chill. We haven't been attacked yet. Yeah, we got to that entire place, and all we found was one person to speak to. Nice. And we have the Aidwell one, the bridge. I can't say that.
I'll have to sleep.
Okay. Let's see what this bridge is about. We got some people there. Who are you? Commoner. Zoran Zenos Kavir. Kavi? Oh. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. Oh, that's a long one. We don't need all that. You see a flurry of matted white hair and an incandescent freeze fire staff. Whatever that is, incandescent freeze fire staff. I don't know what that is. Before you see the man, cold and wild, he chews a wizened apple slowly, discharging spell after spell into a jumble of villagers screeching their way towards him. Cold flame vents from his nose, and apple seeds shoot out the sides of his mouth. As he saunters forward, ignoring arrows and curses alike, a deliberate twist of his staff and a bullet of force glides through the torso of one assailant and another. A roar blisters his throat as he launches himself into their midst, tearing into their essence with his staff. A pleading hand reaches towards him and quickly falls ignored. Silence takes hold of the tattered man's. Gathers his prize, a basket of fresh pears, He hums as he eats. Can I talk to him? Step back, okay. Okay, so we can just see into what he's seen before. They're just commoners. I don't think they're going to have anything to say. Yeah, they don't. Just a car? What is it? I'm looking for the Temple of Woodtica. Huh? If you say so. It's the it's it's in First Fires, just west of Crucible Keep. What do you have to say?
Well met, friend.
What can I do for you? What can you tell me about Defiance Bay? Sorry, we don't have time right now. But it sounds like that doesn't. But it sounds like that dozens crackpot Rona is stirring up trouble again. Jerks his head at the gate. He'd be too happy to give you the rundown of the city, liberally flavoured with dozens of propaganda. With dozens of propaganda, of course. What did I say actually? You seem to be on edge. What's the problem? Thousands of them. Truth be told, we've got refugees coming from all parts, under some misguided notion that things are especially better here. That's the legacy somehow passed us over. So, they showed up with no prospects and little money, and just end up making a worse mess of things. Looks you up and down. No offense. Goodbye. He grunts, and good luck to you.
What is it?
Okay. Make sure we get everyone. And we will go into the Copper Lane. It's a 15-minute walk. Nice.
Defiance Bay. The city at the heart of the Deerwoods Revolution now seems on the brink of another. Refugees line the streets, homeless and hungry, displaced by Whiteone's legacy, hoping for relief within the city walls, and finding none. Dissidents congregate to protest and to heckle, calling for an end to animancy and the ouster of their duke. The city's militiamen cast fearful looks as they patrol the streets, their hands trembling at the hilts of their weapons. The capital of a country that had not long ago incinerated a god now appears to be a spark away from sharing the deity's fate.
Okay, and that's the end of Act 1 apparently. Nice. Nice. Let's move on.
Let's sit our spoils down a while.
Okay. So. That's a cat. That looks like a commoner. Yeah, that's a commoner. We're not going to steal from that. More commoners.
Defiance Bay. I miss Adir already.
Let's have a look at the map and see if we've got anything of interest. Okay, so we have Goose and Fox. That sounds like a tavern. Marketplace. We have Expedition Hall. Someone's house, another person's house. Dormitory. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries. First Fires. Catacombs. Brackbury. Let's go to the Goose and Fox. Let's get some rest, I presume. In fact, it's not too late. In fact, let's go to the marketplace, see if there's anything of interest there. The marketplace would be a good place to go to, I think. See if we can get anything of interest. Laura. What's your name? Namir? Not sure. Oh, okay, we have a weaponsmith. Let's go to the weaponsmith.
Welcome.
Okay. Come to take a look. You won't find a finer collection of armor and weaponry in Defiance Bay. Outside Sonilds, of course. What do you have for sale? Okay. We don't want to sell our pet. Let's get rid of the great sword. We'll keep the grimoire. We can learn spells from it. Get rid of the helmet. What's this do? Has perception, defense. Swift 16. We won't sell that right now. I don't think I'm going to be doing any form of alchemy. So I'll sell it. No. Prybar, we'll keep Prybar, we'll get rid of that. We have heavy armor. 2 heavy armors, I think we only need the 1. I'll say gun by the look of it, we'll get rid of all these shields and the like. Hunting bow might be good actually for one of these 2. Hood, actually we'll keep the hood. We'll get rid of that. Lockpicks we'll keep. Scepter we'll keep. Stash, do we have anything in the stash? Nothing that he's going to want. What's the lady's hand? Unique scepter. Fast does compare to... No, I don't want to compare to you. That might actually be better than what we've got. That's pike. I think I want to equip our mages because I think that they're the only ones who haven't had an upgrade yet. Standard wand is 9 to 14, okay. 9 to 14 and average. Scepter 9 to 14 average. Do you have anything else? What's that? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Headpiece. I think we can't afford the bow, unfortunately. Oh, we can't afford the scepter either. Damn. I was looking at this price here, the value of it. That sucks. I'm a bit sad now. I got excited. And you don't have any form of... Nope. We'll sell all that to you then. You don't have anything else that we can afford to get. That's what you have. Oh. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. Oh, that's a long one. Okay, let's do this. You see a man stumble, knees bleeding, clothes torn, eyes dead. His skin is damp with sweat, but he pushes onwards. His back is arched. Defeated, at his side hangs a bow, strings limp with disguise. Disuse, not disguise. He trips through the undergrowth, sightless, ignoring all but the sound of his own anguish. He comes across a deer, guts spilled across the forest floor, still streaming in the cold night's air. A Stilgear watches. I don't know what a Stilgear is. A Stilgear watches him from above, perched on a trunk of an enormous fallen tree. It takes the man a moment to notice his notices danger, and he seems almost glad for it. The Stilgear unveils itself from the tree, eyeing him carefully. Its disdained stomach almost brushes the ground as it jumps down, and the man dives to meet it. For a moment, time seems to slow as man and beast collide. The Stilgear roars, swiping at him with its claws, and soon has him pinned. Great yellow teeth and acrid breath, ready to end its intrusion, but with a wet, ripping sound. Indeed, an agonizing Stilgear itself, gutted from neck to rump. The man exhales deeply, covered in blood, ponderous. Not today. Not today. Okay, interesting. I don't know what Stilgear is though, unfortunately. It sounds like some form of like giant cat. What's up here? Mercenary? Okay. What's this? Admeth's Den. Let's see what Admeth's Den is.
Mercenaries. All fancy weapons and no skill.
Oh, okay. We're jumping into a conversation with someone apparently. Oh, no. A well-groomed man steps through the hall with a confident swagger, a smug grin etched on his face. He is flanked by 5 other hard-looking individuals. One of his companion's eyes, you see for a moment before spitting chew at your feet. What's chew? Chewing tobacco? Maybe? Another pup comes wandering in. I see. Just know that Bane's giant slayer runs things around here, and you'll be fine. Never heard of them. Can I join? Yeah, sure. He laughs. Around here we get our pick from the best adventurers, and we don't take charity cases. A voice bellows across the hall. Enough jabber-being. You going to do the job or talk about it? It's your Titans. Wayne's right. That coin ain't gonna collect itself. He looks at his comrades and jerks his chin towards the door. See you around, pup. Let's talk to this man.
Don't stand on ceremony. State your business.
Looking for work.
Go see Osric. He's usually got something. You do well for him, maybe I can find you more.
Tell me about the dozens. Good men and women trying to walk in the footsteps of great men and women who came before us. We're a loose association of warriors and extraordinaires in Deerwood. Not as fancy as the Crucible Knights, mind you, but at least we remember our roots. At least I remember someone else's roots and pretend to be like them, he means. Thanks for the information. What else do you need? Farewell. Let's see. There we go. Horse race.
For the last time, Aidwig, keep your fucking blade up. If that dummy was armed, it'd have your head off.
I'm looking for work. Actually, let's see if we can hire an adventurer. Available. Okay, yeah, just level 2s. Okay. I'm looking for work.
You want an expedition? Talk to Wennon. I just handle these mercenary shit shovelers. Adventurers, I mean.
he told us to come to you, though. That's the funny thing. Although, he serves you up, I do have something I need done. Something that requires, he glances sidelong at an adventurer flailing away helplessly at dummy. Competence. What do you need done?
I was formerly one of the Knights of the Crucible. When I left, they kept my arms and armor. The arms they can have, but the armor belonged to my family. I'd like it back.
What's this armor?
It's a breastplate. Not much to look at, and it's seen far too much use, but it's been in my family since the liberation.
Why don't you just go straight back?
No. Oh, they'd like that, I'm sure. But I won't be going. Sooner be torn apart by dogs than give them the satisfaction.
Doesn't sound like leaving the Crucible Knights was your choice.
You don't choose to leave knighthood. The Crucible Knights, they may not be a real knighthood, but the oaths you swear are just as true. Still, turns out that even unofficial knighthoods have politics. You cross the wrong man, suddenly all kinds of accusations are thrown your way, and nobody believes you.
Nothing more destructive than a coward with the wrong idea. I'll see what I
Then
can
it's Penhelm you're looking for. A low snake of a man. If he was to die choking on his own black tongue, it'd be too kind of fate. He kept it when he had me kicked out.
do. Okay. He leans in closer. I got word from a reliable source that Penhelm visited a forger in Owner's Gift right after having his soul lineage read by a cipher in Dunyard Row. So should you have it in your heart to find a way to ruin his life while you're there, well, drinks on me. Having his soul lineage read.
It's a requirement to join the Knights. They have to ensure a novitiate doesn't have a subversive lineage. If Penhelm's superiors found out his affidavit was a fake, his career would be over. Every novitiate gets an affidavit from Dunreed Row, and those are stored at Crucible Keep. If you find Penhelm's, one of those ciphers could tell you if it's real.
Segni scratches the back of her neck. If generations of Mascouls traditions are any indication of this Penhelm problem, doesn't remember it. Still, a past like that has to count for something. Tell me about Expedition Hall. It's treasure hunting, plain and simple. Sponsors put money up, hire adventurers to explore the wilds, looking for ruins mostly. If they come back alive, they split the spoils. If not, it's because they handle their weapon like this lot in front of me, who might as well be digging their own graves right now. Farewell. New quest, Rogue Knight. Right, let's see if we know where this is to be then. Rogue Knight. Auric was kicked out of the Crucible Knights by a fellow knight named Penhelm. Worse, his superiors confiscated his breastplate that has been in his family for generations. Auric has asked me to retrieve his breastplate from Penhelm and believes his rival might have forged a document from Dunry Row verifying the purity of his soul. If I can prove Penhelm's forgery, I may have some leverage to get the breastplate back. Find the heirloom breastplate. Osric, a trainer of the Expedition Hall in Copper Lane, told me that his breastplate would be somewhere in the Crucible Keep. in first fires. He also mentioned that Penhelm, the keeper of the armory, was one of the officers who had him expelled and is unlikely to return the heirloom willingly. So, I think we should go to the tavern, the inn, whatever it's called, and get some sleep, then go to first fires. Okay, now we're back in here. Let's go down the stairs. Just make sure that everyone slowly wanders around to here. Because I think this is going to be a tavern of some sort. That big cluster of portraits up here. Damn, we got a lot of people. Alaf wants to talk to you. Edir wants to talk to you. I haven't spoken to these people when they want to speak to me. Aloth, yes. Alaf seems lost in thought. He flinches when you draw near, sucking his sharp breath through his teeth.
What can I do for you?
You've been acting
A
strange.
crumbling castle, abandoned memories, and an old man who can no longer tell them from reality. I'd say we've seen some rather strange things. And if
Yes.
Meerwald is to be believed, it would seem you've an uncertain future ahead.
I don't know what to think. He was out of his mind. Please don't stock in. Don't play. I don't play stock in the ramblings of a lunatic. There's no point in speculating now. My situation is more dire than I realized. We've got to find this Linden key and fast. It was a monster in his past lives. He got what he deserved. No point in speculating
Perhaps Defiance Bay holds the answers we need.
now. I want to discuss some girls. Tell me about Adir. Okay. I've been gone for more than a year now, but I expect I'll always think of the forests and fields of Adir as home. We've thousands of years of history and tradition behind us, and there's a sense of dignity and responsibility that comes with that. He frowns. Of course, there's baggage as well. Our imperial past is still fresh in the minds of many, as you may have noticed here. Has it been difficult to adjust to Deerwood? People here are informal, hot-blooded. His mouth twists into a wry smirk, more attentive to insult than to duty. But as long as one avoids provocation, it's easy enough to get along. He steeples his fingers. Steeples? Kind of like an Archie. I've gotten accustomed enough to keeping my thoughts to myself anyway. How may I be of service? How long were you in Guild Vale? He shrugs, fidgeting with the hem of his sleeve. Not much longer than you. As you saw, it was hardly the haven that had been advertised. Any thoughts on what I should do next? Merwold urged you to seek out these Leiden keys. Again, agents in Defiance Bay, yes? If his condition is any warning, we should find them with all haste. Let's talk to Adir.
That old watcher. I don't know what I expected, but it sure wasn't that.
You said you had something you wanted to ask me.
It's kind of embarrassing now. I just got a dumb idea in my head is all. Don't know why I thought it'd work. That's funny. That's probably the first thing I got my hopes up for in, I don't know, years. At least I got that out of it.
What was it?
All right. Guess fair is fair, and You did bring me to see him. Those rumors back in Gilded Vale about my brother, Woden, about how he turned against us and fought for Widewind, been on my mind for some time now. The thing about Woden was, he always knew what was right, and that's what he'd do. One day he set out to fight for Deerwood against a man claiming to be our god. So I knew that's what I had to do too. He was right. And hearing claims that he died fighting for Rhea Saris, that got me worried. Not that he'd chosen the wrong side, but that I had. Didn't seem right what Widewind had in store, but if he really was Aethys,
He shakes his head.
I thought, maybe this old Watcher would know how my brother died. So I could see if it was true. Like he could, I don't know, read it in my soul or something. Use our connection. Told you it was dumb.
Why didn't you ask me for help? Guess because I didn't know you. It's hard to trust a stranger that says he's a watcher.
Of course, I knew the truth deep down. The Watcher's not psychic. I think I just had this idea, and the idea made me feel a certain way, and I didn't want to lose that.
Really, if I wanted to find out about my brother, I should be starting with... I shouldn't be starting with watches. I should be starting with records. So why don't you? We prepared. Maybe no records. So why don't you? Eddie thinks a moment. His lips twist to one side. He raises his eyebrow. If there's anything written down about it, they'd have to be in Defiance Bay. Hey, we're in Defiance Bay. They got an archive. They've got an archive at the palace.
You've done a lot for me already, but if you could see fit to pay that archive a visit with me, well, you know. Knowing my luck, the records clerk will go crazy and try to kill me. I'd feel better with you in there with me.
Well, if that is the case, you want to go to the archives. We will go to the archives. Okay, so I think the plan, instead of going to the Crucible Knight's place, we're going to go help Eddie, because he's our friend.
Good day to you.
Could I get a room? I'll show you what we've got. We have to pay here? No. What? Store. Yes, store. You've got camping sites. Good. Accept. Trade. Yeah, okay, you can buy ventures here. We'll rest, though. We'll rest and then we'll go to... We'll have a look around Defiance Base, try and find Eddie's brother's... what's it called? Try and find some information on Eddie's brother. Brain died for a second. It looks like we have our friend here who wants to talk to us as well. Sangui. Sagani draws up beside you. Her fox follows at her heels and takes a seat next to you.
Even if you are putting one over on me, it's nice to have a hunting party again.
You've been searching for Prosok for 5 years?
5 years for me. Must be 30-something for Ichimak.
Hearing its name, the fox looks up. How's the search going?
It's been a long hunt. A long time away from my family. Before, I'd crossed the tundra of Nasitok following caribou herds. I didn't want to leave Kalu and our children, but I was eager to visit lands my people rarely do. But 5 years without finding him. It's like 2 hours of necking. I'm ready to be done with it.
Why'd you have to find Prospect?
Soul recovery is an old village tradition. We call it the Tarnek Elitsak. Once in a generation, we seek the soul of a much respected and long dead village elder. We tell him what's changed in the village, how people remember him. The only other Tarnek Elitsak during my lifetime happened when I was a girl, not long after Persak died. We feasted on blubber and fermented milk for a week, and we honored the chosen huntress as a hero.
Ooh, that sounds horrid. blubber and fermented milk.
Then she left, and we returned to our duties. We still sang her name to the skies during festival season, but we otherwise didn't speak of her.
I see.
It's not being forgotten by my village that troubles me, but sometimes I wonder how my husband and children remember me, if they think of me often.
Of course they do. They must. I would like to believe it, and yes, sometimes days go by and I realise that they have not crossed my thoughts. Such days are rare, but they happen. It shames me to think of it, but more than that, it scares me.
Still, there's no point in dwelling on it. More often I find myself wondering whether Persock will remember us. You claim to see souls. What do you think? Do you remember your past lives?
Yes, in fragments. Really? What was it like? It's strange. Feels like I'm going crazy most of the time. Uncomfortable. I'd just as soon not remember any of it. Frustrating. I only wish I knew more. I've been learning a lot about myself. There are parts I like, parts I don't. I've been learning a lot
Good
about
things,
myself.
I hope. Maybe Persock will be the same way. Would make my job of telling him about the village a lot easier.
Okay. What would you tell him about the village? What's your village changed much since then?
Masuk is probably much the same as it was 100 years ago. We live between tundra and frozen forests, and the land takes as much as it gives. But our hardships bring us together. And the elders truly unite us. They keep the stories of past generations, and they guide us from season to season, through good years and lean.
Okay. Recently, there's been a lot of good years. My aunts say we have had clashes with neighbouring villages thanks to the hunting territories that Perspec helped establish. In bad years, we rely on trade with merchants that pass our shores. We exchange walrus tusks and seal pelts for grains that last us the hard winters. Perspec brokered a lot of those agreements too. She holds up the bare figurine. He got this from one of the Ormond ships that used to trade with us. Sounds like Perspec did a lot for
That's
people.
what I'm supposed to remind him.
Sounds like you're on a hunt of your own, though. Do you feel you feeling the thrill of the chase, or ready for it to be over? It's too early to tell. Apparently I clicked the wrong thing. Aristocrat. I enjoy the adventure. Every day brings something new. That's refreshing to hear, especially from someone who didn't grow up in a camp. She rises and sketches looking around. Stretches looking around. We've got darkness on our side. Shall we move on? Let's go. Okay, we've slept. Okay. Let's go. Let's go this way. Map. First fires. Yeah, first fires is going to be where the first fires is going to be where the palace is probably because it's the center. I was just reading what came up in the bottom. Your time has come, Sigmund. Okay, it's just like a play going on. I was also reading this. Pillars of Eternity has been localized in several languages. First fire, yes. 15 minutes to walk to first fire. Okay, so we're in first fire. Let's have a look at the map. The Ducal Palace. Oranda's Gift. Temple of Woodica. Blackberry. Okay, let's go to the palace. Which, now I'm thinking about it, it's nighttime, it might be shut. That would be a great way to be like shit on your parade. Let's go inside. Okay. Who do we have here? Welcome to Ducal Palace. Place. Sidley.
Well met, friend.
What's the Ducal Palace? It's the seat of government here in Defiance Bay. This is where Duke Admith Hadrid declared freedom from Adiran rule from some 150 years ago. It's also a hotbed of regional politics. Trust me, the gossip here beats what you'll find in any tavern or brothel in the city. Looking for news? No, nothing like that. Let's go see if we can find Eddie's brother. Anything about Eddie's brother? Doubt it'd be in there. Let's go through here. Well, shit, that leads outside, didn't it? Let's go back inside. Okay. Is there anything in here? Let's close the door. Maybe. Close the door. Yeah, there we go. Some helmets. We'll steal them. Yep, sure. We'll steal some things. Have a question. Oh, we have a little bit of a temple thing here. Frigga.
Good day, stranger.
Praise be to Maegran, and welcome to her temple. How may I be of service? You seem upset. What's wrong? This is about the fire. This is about the fires, isn't it? They're just symbols. You can't put your faith in them. Perception. Only symbols. Is that why you're so distressed? No, I've kept them burning steadily for 15 years, but haven't been able to conjure them for months now. And people need to see them more than ever these days. What does that mean? It's my devotion and prayers that keep them lit. But lately, when I try to pray, all I can think about are Hollowborn all over the city, the grieving families, the refugees. She shakes her head. How could Magran allow us to suffer like this? What strength do we gain from a soulless child? And this has shaken your faith? She nods, running her hand through her hair. But I believe Magran may be speaking to me again. She frowns and casts a quick glance in your direction. Lately I've been seeing visions, a place in the wilderness with pools filled with sunbursts of colour, strange falls that seem to rise to the heavens, even when they splash into the earth. She raised her hand as if framing an image of her vision, and behind the falls is a cave filled with fire and heat and danger, and some token of my goddess. I know there's something here, and something there. But where it is, or how I'd get there, she shakes her head. I've been meaning to ask around at the expedition hall to see if anyone recognizes the description. To be honest, though, I don't know what I'd do even if I found the place. Segme painted Segme's painted brow furrows. An uncertain mission with no clear outcome. I can understand her confusion still. It seems odd that she would send us when the vision is clearly hers. I'd like to know more about the temple here. What's the significance of sacred prayers? They symbolize Magran's power and guidance, and right now the people of Defiance Bay need to be assured of her presence. She crosses her arms, staring at the statue. Our neighbours in the Villain Republic see us as suspicious, but we're just sensitive to the signs and warnings of our gods. Something else? I'd like to know more about the temple here. Yeah, sure. Magran is the most revered goddess among the Deerwoodians, so it's no surprise that her temple is part of the Dulcan Palace. Her fires symbolize trials, revolutions, and the blazing of new paths, all of which are important to us. She gestures to the statue. This is the first of sacred pyres. When she is lit, so are the rest around the city. Goodbye. Okay. Let's go upstairs then. We're allowed. Okay. Nope, that's not where we want to go. Neither is that. Okay. Records of the Keeper.
Hello.
Records Keeper. Yes, is there something I can pull for you? I'm looking for military records from the time of the Saints' War, trying to find out what happened to someone. The man clears his throat. We've had a number of inquiries about such information. I am afraid we've had to bar access to the public. Seems there's still quite the number of folk in Deerwood who bear ill will towards Redicans. It would be irresponsible to surrender their names to just anyone. Many came to settlers here as refugees. Perhaps if you were established in Defiance Bay, things would be different. But I have no reason to suspect you'll be different from the others. We've come a long way. I just need to find out about my brother. I don't even know what side he fought for. You must understand, I have heard many such stories. I am afraid there is nothing I can do for you. I take what I want. In the Duke Palace, I can assure you that you do not. Besides, without my assistance, you'd be shifting through scrolls for years. Farewell. Okay, with that failure of trying to help a deer, I think we're going to call it there. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, then don't forget to subscribe and join us next time. If I see you around, thank you for joining me, and until next time, goodbye.